Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's Words of Wisdom. I'm Yushi and today's is from February 19th and I quote, "Self-reflection is an essential way of returning heavenly light to the inner self. In other words, this practice restores the radiance we originally possessed in heaven from the essence of Buddha." Thank you, Master Okawa. All right, another words of wisdom of the importance of self-reflection. For those of us who forgot to practice self-reflection, what happens is it's like, oh, it's another teaching of self-reflection, I get the point. But if you practice self-reflection, like really, preferably, ideally every day, every time you hear the words, the teachings on self-reflection, it'll make you nod really deeply. It's so helpful. And the only way for you to be able to understand how helpful self-reflection is to practice it. And, this comes from my personal experience. I'm going to be frank with you. There was a moment recently where I was a little too busy and I was neglecting self-reflection, and I was just doing prayers and meditation and skipping the self-reflection part, or not doing it like thoroughly. And what happened was, it's very scary. When you don't practice self-reflection, if going back to today's words of wisdom, it means that you're going to divert away from the heavenly state or the heavenly light that's inside of us. Well, what does that mean? That sounds very ambiguous and vague. But if I were to put it from my experience, it means that if you don't practice self-reflection, you start adopting a very egotistical view or a selfish view, and you become confined to just your own views, and you'll have a harder time being able to have the room in your heart to be able to consider yourself objectively, consider in the truest meaning the other people's feelings, or consider looking at your situation, looking at yourself from Buddha's truth, God's truth, and you won't have room in your heart to be able to consider the situation from God, from God's perspective. So, in a way, if you don't practice self-reflection, you're confined. But when you practice self-reflection, you are liberated from your own egotistical views. And as you know, the more selfish we get, and more entangled we are only in our ego, in our own perspective, in our own views only, what happens is it naturally causes friction with other people. A human relationship error or an issue will occur in your private life. In public life, most of us probably work with other people. So then you'll start having troubles and quarrels inside your work, which can lead you to being demoted or having labeled as a person that can't do job, that can't do a good job. So self-reflection, from my recent experience, is essential for us to live a truly happy life. And another awakening I recently had is live each day as an opportunity for self-reflection. Or in other words, live each day as if you're being provided with materials of self-improvement. If you feel at the end of the day that you haven't improved, from my experience, and going back to Master's teachings, it's kind of harsh, but Master goes to say that it means you're already arrogant if you haven't had any discoveries throughout the day or improvements throughout the day. So, however, if you start out your day thinking that, oh, today's another day that was provided from God to me, to be able to refine my soul with full of opportunity to self-reflection, I am telling you, the density and the quality of each day increases inexplicably. It's just outstanding how different the quality of your life gets just by shifting your perspective from living each day, starting out each day thinking that you're given an opportunity of many self-improvement points. And you just have to start with the heart of gratitude that your life is given to you. The fact that Lord Alcantara, Master Ryuho Okawa, is alive today. We're living with the modern day Messiah. Other people, this environment is provided to you. And if you think that it's something to be taken for granted, you won't learn your lessons. But if you think it's something that's granted to you, you'll start seeing this life is, every single day is full of opportunities to learn and to improve our life, especially if you're in Happy Science and if you're studying Master's teachings. Day after another, one after another, Master is giving us new teachings, new lectures, new spiritual messages. I mean, right now is February 26th, but he's even given us a spiritual message of Vladimir Putin's guardian spirit regarding the Ukrainian issue to truly be able to see what this leader of Russia is thinking about, that you will not be able to see from the mainstream media, right or left. So it's just unbelievable. Master even gave us a spiritual message from Jesus Christ recently. It's titled, "To Those Who Are Weak in Faith." And my goodness, it was just filled with so many teachings on how to reflect on the lack of faith or the impurity of faith. So yeah, if you stay in Happy Science, and as long as you have the heart of self-reflection or wanting to improve yourself humbly every day, it's filled with opportunities to fulfill your life, your each day, with so much density of learning. That is the end for today's words of wisdom. Let me quote it again. Self-reflection is an essential way of returning heavenly light to the inner self. In other words, this practice restores the radiance we originally possessed in heaven from the essence of Buddha. Thank you, Master, and thank you everyone for joining. Bye-bye.